Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I have with me the Givenchy Prisme Libre. This is the Couture edition powder, but they do have these in a regular line. This is the Matte Finish and Enhanced Radiance Loose Powder 4-in-1 Harmony. So this shade is part of the regular line. It is number 1, Mousseline Pastel. And I'm going to use it as a finishing powder today and just kind of take a look. So the Couture edition has this black lace pattern, and I do have the one from the holiday edition, which has this. And at first I thought they were the same shade because this is also mousseline, but it's sparkling mousseline. It is actually not the same. So this one from the holiday has pink, blue, purple, and white. And then the new one here, by the way, I always take out these puffs, but it does come with a puff. We have purple, green, blue, and white. So I decided to try this one as well. And I just wanted to show you guys what it does as a finishing powder. So what I have on my face, I have the rest of my makeup on. I did a very light look today. I used the Clé de Peau Correcting Veil Primer, which is basically a moisturizing sunscreen type of primer. And then I have the Biologique Recherche Serum de Teint, and the other makeup items I'll have down below in the description box. All right, so let me pull off this film. Oh, I don't know if the camera caught that, but a little gust of powder went up in the air. All right, so we've got that. And then here it is. So I think these containers are really beautiful. These are plastic. For different collections, they do come out with like different lids and things that are interchangeable with all of their powder products like this. The only thing I hate is I don't like the square containers. They look pretty, but I hate having the round top on the square container because I do like to decant some of my powder into the lid. And then when I'm trying to put it back in, it's very messy. I always end up pouring a little bit on the corners, and I don't like that. So, but unfortunately I love the product. I think they're very pretty, so I buy them anyway. So I think for today, we're gonna go ahead and buff this in, and I'm going to use 2 different brushes so you can kind of see the difference in the face. So I'm going to start off with the Surratt face brush, and here is the powder in here, and I'm just going to kind of spread this around and dust some of that off. Okay, and we'll do the right side of the face with this, which is basically a loose fluffy brush. So I'm just kind of tapping some of the product on before I buff that in. All right, so you can see the difference. It definitely has more of a matte finish, but there is still a little bit of a sheen that shines through. It doesn't like completely mattify. And I did have a little bit of the Chanel Rosy Light Drops as a highlighter here, and that is shining through the powder. But it does kind of give a little bit of a blurring effect. So if you look at my cheeks, and again, I used the Serum de Teint, which doesn't provide too much coverage, so you can really kind of see the blurring effect. Now, another thing to know about this powder, it can be used as a setting or finishing powder, and I have used other colors of this product both ways. So that is definitely something good to know because I do often use these as a setting powder. All right, so I'll be right back. We're going to use a different brush for the other side. Okay, so for the other side, we're going to use a more traditional buffing style brush. This is the Sonia G Face 1, and you can see that it does have the flat top, more kabuki style brush head. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the lid. There's still plenty of product here. And got some on the brush, and I'm going to again pat it on and then buff it in. Okay, so you can see that both products or both brushes apply the product well, and you can see that there is a matte look to both of them. However, the first side with the fluffier brush is a little bit more matte, and in my experience using the brushes, I think that's mostly because with this, I'm able to buff the product in better, so it's not necessarily sitting so much on the skin. So it actually kind of gets a little bit more absorbed, and you just get like a little bit less of that matte look. Whereas with this one, even when you use just a little bit of product, it doesn't really go into the skin as much, so you still get a little bit of a more matte look. So it depends which one you're looking for. With both powders, I'm just gonna kind of finish them the same. With both brushes and application methods, I have not had any issues with creasing or anything like that during the day. The powder has sat very well, and you can see that both sides do offer a little bit of a blurring effect with the powder. All right, so the idea behind these 4 shades is to offer a little bit of color correcting, and the green inclusion is supposed to help with the redness. I do think it does help a little bit. It's obviously, you know, you're using very little product here, very little green. It's not going to make a huge difference. But you can also use these when you take these out of the container, or rather, you know, you dump a little bit in the lid and so forth, your colors are a little separated. So if you wanted to, you could dab your finger in a particular color and like dab it on areas that you need to. And I have done that under my eyes at times to help kind of color correct when my circles are really dark and so forth. So just a little preview of what happens if you use it under your eyes. So I'm going here into the purple shade, just putting a little bit on my fingertip and tapping it under my eyes. And you can see that that really did make a difference between these 2 eyes. My circles look a little bit dampened, like I don't think it's quite as obvious. And it is a nice way to set your concealer if you haven't done so as well. So there you go. That's it. And thanks so much. I just wanted to give you guys a little preview of this powder, and I hope this was helpful to see the 2 different brush style applications. Again, I think they both work great, but it kind of depends what you're looking for. And that's everything for today. So thank you so much for joining me. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you next time. So have a safe and healthy day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.